Hey, what do we got today? Today we're unveiling more misconception and fraud in science. Look, a recent major meta-analysis of the psychiatric literature on antidepressant medications has yet again found that what we've been told for decades about depression and anxiety being a chemical imbalance is not the full story. And so check this out. Let's put this on the board. This was published in the journal Molecular Psychiatry. You can see here the serotonin theory of depression, a systematic umbrella review of the evidence. This review suggests that the huge research effort based on the serotonin hypothesis has not produced convincing evidence of a biochemical basis to depression. This is consistent with the research on many other biological markers. We suggest that it's time to acknowledge that the serotonin theory of depression is not empirically substantiated. Wow. So what have we been being told for the last many decades? That, anxiety and depression are chemical imbalances in your brain that require drug treatments that impact those chemicals. Such a simplified statement, right? As if the level of your capacity for thought and behavior was regulated by something so simple as one medication. But that's really what every doctor has been pushing, every psychiatrist has been pushing, despite the actual reality that those things aren't true. And this is what we call science-based medicine. So here we are, we've gotten the science-based medicine that was wrong again. Now, if we look at, I want to put up a slide for you. This is a review study published in the journal Pharmaceutics. And so you can see here evidence of drug-nutrient interactions with chronic use of commonly prescribed medications. And so in this research study, one of the medications being reviewed are the very same drugs that correct the chemical imbalance if you're dealing with anxiety and depression. And these drugs, there's a class of medicines called SSRI. So check this out. Antidepressants, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. So what this diagram is showing you is it's showing you the nutritional interactions with the drug. And so what we know about SSRIs is they deplete calcium and they deplete vitamin D. What we also know about them is they don't work very well unless you take folate, which is a B vitamin. It's vitamin B9 with them. So if you are folate deficient and take an SSRI, it won't really work very well. If you take folate with it, it'll work better. Does that mean that the drug itself requires folate for it to work? In which case, why not just take folate? But let's look at the deficiencies, the calcium and the vitamin D deficiencies. As I showed you earlier, calcium and vitamin D are major players in how our brains process neurological signals, right? So you need vitamin D to regulate how the different neurotransmitters communicate to each other. You need vitamin D to help regulate how much calcium you're capable of absorbing. Remember, all of your nerves have calcium channels at the end of them that regulate and modulate how neurotransmitters talk to the other cells, right, in your brain. We're talking about nerve-to-nerve communication, necessary. What do we need? We need calcium, we need vitamin D. The very drugs that have been pawned on the U.S. as the solution for depression and anxiety also cause deficiencies of two of the very most important nutrients that your body needs to regulate thought and neurological processes. So beyond that, let's put that slide back up and you'll see also that people with low folate intake or that have the genetic MTHFR mutation also can do very, very poorly on these medications. So again, if you've got a history where you've been taking an SSRI for depression or anxiety, you should understand that it's blocking your vitamin D, it's blocking your calcium. It works better if you take folate, and if you have an MTHFR mutation, you really need to have your folate levels measured to make sure you're getting adequate quantities. So if you're on these medications, know the harm, know the nutritional side effects. If you intend on staying on them, get nutritionally checked out and demand better from your prescribing doctor.